5:30. Join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll call the meeting to order at 5:30. I'll take the roll. Covio?
Here.
Klingelsmith?
Here.
Clerk Welsheimer's here. Wheaton and Howard are absent. And Wheaton is downstate in a hospital with leukemia and getting treatments for that. So our thoughts are with him. So we did the roll, that, now we have to appoint a moderator.
Want to do it? Sure, I'll do it.
Carrie will be the moderator. So we'll hand the meeting over to Carrie.
All right. Now we can open up for public comment.
I can start, and I don't have too much time I was gonna share the Parks and Rec kind of update and appreciate what's happened with stepping up and making sure their porta bodies for the third and taking care of those things. It's just a time period when you just
There was a triumph.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so the big ones from our last meeting were the community survey. And that's where Rebecca, we're done with the survey, gonna be available to the public, to township residents here. Within 4 to 6 weeks, you were saying. I don't know if he's reached out to you all in the not here or part of that.
I thought it would come to the board first to look at it before it goes to the
First,
public.
okay. Would you like me to send that or have Ken send that to you?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, I'll do
So
that.
we can look at it.
Sounds good. But we thought, the sooner the better with that to get some of the folks to be able to participate in that. Well, we've got the service.
Can we still put it out?
On the website.
Because if we wait till the next meeting, then it's August.
Usually
Basically,
the
a
board
carbon
gets,
copy of the one 5 years ago.
what?
It's basically a carbon copy of the 5-year one that we did 5 years ago.
I guess, but usually the board does see something before it goes out to the public.
So then we can't send it till August.
I'll send it to you as soon as possible.
I guess you can send it.
The other things were the Bob Gullidge Memorial Plaque for East Park Pavilion. That's been already funded and financed, and it's getting prepared right now. The date, and I appreciate talking to me that day and thinking through. You guys had great ideas for what that day could look like. I really appreciate that. I think it's great. I was kind of in my mind and was gonna run it by the rest of our board, but have it in summertime in August, like you guys were, great idea. I thought August 23rd might be a draft was the idea to put out there and run by it to see if there's, unless somebody's already got it booked. That type of.
Okay, I will look that up and let you know.
Right, afternoon would be better. If there's communication you guys would want to have to help us out, try to plan that. Those are the big ones, community survey and getting prepared for that. And there was kind of left open, and I don't sure where, I know the having more than one bid, but we were hoping at least Peggy's could come and do some of the work before that day. Just to pretty it up and make it look a little bit better there. That's something we want to propose.
Because they also do the weeding. They not only planted the flowers, but they took care of all the weeding, and the daylilies have kind of been taken over by the weeds.
And then it sounds like the trash can lids were also taken care of, that type of thing. That right, Suzanne, that the trash, Fred had worked that out with you to
Right, last I knew he was working on it.
He was working on it, yeah,
Mhm.
I was working on that. Anything else I'm missing, those are the big ones there.
No, so. Back to the survey, if we go ahead and do that. Are we overstepping something that? Because if we wait until your meeting in August,
That would be available in August.
but we're gonna start missing some of your.
I don't know.
I think it's,
What do you think?
we still get out there and try to do.
No, because we usually have most of the summer people. when-
I guess go ahead and send it out, but for future reference, I think it should be brought to the board.
Yeah.
I mean, just so that they can look at it. Anything else has always done that. But if it's pretty much the same as last time, then
Yep, it is.
There was one other thing too that I brought up in the last meeting about volunteerism and having a. Waiver to sign, and I ended up going to another. Organization that I do volunteer work with and getting theirs in a template or a Word document, be able to change some wording, but I would want to give that to you all to. Be able to have lawyers take a look at it.
Okay.
If that's something, then I could put that together, and do you want me to email that to you? It's electronic.
that's probably easiest, yes.
I'll email that to you.
Okay.
Anything else?
Um. Oh, no, we were there for a long time, I don't think so.
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment?
Yep,
Yes.
Dave Snyder and 26 Country Lane. Hi, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good. I noticed and I had to do a quick change, so sorry for being here so late, but at least I made it for remarks from the public. I am grateful that you are taking a look at your vote from the June meeting, or actually May meeting. Is that right? May meeting minutes, and then getting it clarified, that you're clarifying your vote, so I do appreciate that. I would ask, though, that you would still look at, hopefully, taking a look at all of the things that are involved in your vote, original vote. And if this is to clarify what you mean by your original vote, then I don't know if you've been legally advised that you can't change your vote. I have no idea, but I would hope that you at least make that a consideration. And also the fact that you're missing two of your trustees, and those are the two that voted to support the planning commission on this. That is of a concern, and I don't know if that helps to clarify a vote or not, other than you three clarifying what you meant by not accepting their recommendation. So again, I would hope that you would make that an issue and take a look at whether this really does meet the master plan, which it does not. It is not mentioned in the master plan. The only thing that's mentioned is the fact that you've got a US 31 corridor, and you're looking at what you do with US 31 corridor to be consistent with that. But the places for higher density housing, this is not one of the areas that's mentioned for that. So I hope that you would keep that in mind when you do whatever vote to revote or whatever you're gonna do this evening on the Blackbird parcel. Thank you.
No, very good.
Yes, I'm Scott Redmond. I live in Oaks of Walloon, down Resort Pike. And I had a couple items that, one of them is maybe a review. You probably recall that I was in quite a few months ago, and I've been talking about trying to get put into the budget a shoulder on the sides of Resort Pike from Indian Garden down. And I guess maybe we might as well include all of Resort Pike. But I wanted to find out if there's been any reconsideration to the time frame of repaving Resort Pike, especially in lieu of the items that I brought up back then. And also recently, obviously, the pothole situation that we had during the spring, which maybe is quote unquote normal wear, but obviously showed that the Resort Pike was susceptible to an increased amount of wear. So I was curious, has there been any, and I'm sorry, I don't recall. I believe when I was at the meeting, I'm fairly certain, when I had spoken to the road commission also, that there had not been a plan submitted or a request, maybe is better language, to have resort repaved anytime in the next 5 years. But I do also recall Bob saying that it was going to be added to the minutes and it was gonna be, considered as to adding a shoulder when that time comes. And I don't know where it has stood since then. Obviously, I haven't been to every meeting. Can anyone comment on that?
As far as I know, I don't know if Mr. Wheaton's, his conversations with, the road commission about it. I don't know when we're looking at repaving, Resort Pike. I know it was talked about possibly for this year, but the two other roads were more in need of repaving.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we could, that's something we can ask him when he comes back.
Okay.
Follow up with him on it.
Or are you sure, and maybe as far as repaving, you said there were thoughts that we'd repave it this year, but we've got other roads to do. It could actually be as soon as next year or the following?
I'm not sure.
Okay, just want to say, because that was. a
It was
hopeful
one of the
comment to
roads
me. I
that
thought
came
maybe
up.
it was getting pushed up.
I think there's like 8 or 10 different roads that are on the list.
Yeah,
And so I know that that is one road that we did talk about.
okay. A question relating to that, I'm sorry if it was covered in previous meetings, maybe. What was the reason for, I guess I'll just call it a delay. It seemed like a delay in getting the patching done on the road. You know, I know there's things with restrictions for weight when you come out in spring. But I'm guessing it was probably a couple months after those were lifted where we still had the holes. What was the reason for the length of time it took to patch them?
Emmett County patches them. I don't believe that we pay for that. That's something that Emmett County was dealing with everybody else's roads too. Right, I don't know, do you know, Al?
My suggestion would be is to contact the road commission. Brent Shank, he's the road manager out there. But from what I've heard in the past from several other meetings I've attended, their biggest issue is because of the ice storm. They're dealing with, not only are they dealing with, like you said, the potholes, but they're dealing with clearing the road right of ways of the debris that's out there. There's still, you know, I can't remember the number, but it's like 20 miles of seasonal roads. It's not even open yet, that they're still trying to get
Sure.
open before winter.
Okay.
So, you know, and they got a limited number of crews too, and, you know, 6,000 or 600 miles of roads, you know, they can only cover so much. So, but to really answer your question, I mean, he could be the one that I would contact, is call the
Okay.
road commission, talk to him and, you know, address your concerns with him.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, and that's a fair, comment as far as the
Yeah.
ice storm goes and the damage, I think.
I mean, they did come out and patch them, you know, a couple times, and then they finally came out recently and did the big patch they just did, which seems to be holding up really well.
Yeah.
Jennifer
Muscatone. Okay, one other item on I guess on the shoulders, and maybe I'll wait till, well, I guess I won't, I'll make the comment and then attend maybe next week. Just to give you an update, regarding the shoulder and the safety concerns that I had brought up that months ago. There have been instances which I'm sure everyone who drives the road has encountered, but there's been nearly probably every time if I ride Resort Pike from Oaks of Walloon just down to Indian Garden, where really the main area that I was hoping to get addressed were the hills from Indian Garden that are blind hills down to the lake. But then, of course, wanting to make sure we do a good job if we're gonna be repaving the entire road. Probably, I'm not exaggerating by saying every time I ride out there on my bike, and it's once a week to twice a week now that it's summer. There's at least 1 to 2 or 3 serious encounters with vehicles that are crossing the double yellow on the hills to avoid me, I guess. And I've had, there was one instance a while back, there was a young lady with a stroller coming up right across from Bob's house. And she, I guess, felt safe out there, but the same thing happened where, of course, if the car is doing the right thing, trying to avoid her. She has nowhere to go, she's in the gravel, and she probably shouldn't have been out there, in all fairness, with a stroller, I would have been. But the car just went right across, half of the car was crossing the center line as we crested the hill, and we had to swerve out of the way. the same thing happened just a week ago down, this was not on the hilly section. This was right across, just past School Road, the hill across School Road, where there was a biker coming up all the way to the left, about as far as they could probably go, and a large white vehicle. We came over the hill and it was already halfway across. We had to swerve almost into the gravel to avoid another collision. And there's been one instance in particular where a gentleman, for whatever reason, because what I've tried to do, right or wrong, when I'm coming up a hill and I hear a car behind me and I see it, and I'm halfway up the hill and they're coming in, I put my hand out and go like this to not pass, And it has worked about 50% of it. I wouldn't say 50%, a third of the time, probably 2/3 of the time. People just go around and still do the same thing. I'm encouraged when people do slow down, then I crest the hill and then they wait, I wave, and then they pass me. There was a gentleman who, for some reason, came alongside of me, right, again, across, more or less across from Bob's place, just up from Oaks Walden where it comes out, and slowed down and just stared me down on my bike. And I will recognize the gentleman when I see him again. And the next time something like that happens, I'll try to take a picture safely. We can see who decided this was a good thing to do. And just stared me down while they were across the center line and just slowly went up the hill with me, creating a huge hazard. And I just said, hey, what's going on? And the guy just kept doing it, I guess, just to get it off his chest. So just to remind the board of the instances that are occurring and how regular they are. I'm just one person.
Right.
And I'm just fearful, as I've stated before, we're gonna eventually have probably a pretty horrible accident by people crossing the line, even though legally they're not supposed to, we know. But without anywhere for people to go off those sections to even give them another foot, they're obliged, I guess, to put half their vehicle in the other lane, regardless if there's no line of sight. And it's a 55-mile-an-hour limit, right, on resort,
Yes.
because it's not posted, it's 55. So, cars are going 55 at least, 60 coming over the top of the hill. There's very little room to react. The last thing I'll say, and I'll put this together for maybe the next meeting, I had requested from the road commission, can consideration be given to signage, at least while we are waiting? If it turns out the repaving or the adding to the shoulder takes till 2027, 2028, there needs to at least be serious consideration to some signs, though the road commission was hesitant. They were helpful, but very hesitant to add signs because apparently there's liability that comes with that, was my understanding. That the more signs they put, the more they're liable in case something happens, and now they're liable because their sign either didn't cover something adequately or caused more of a problem. So I guess just to add that as a serious consideration while we wait, that there could be some signs for those sections to help guide people to stay in their lane. And you've seen signs on the side of the road that say share the road for bikers. Again, the road commission would have to address if that's appropriate for here, but that obviously would be something to remind people, you do have a duty to share the road with bikers.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, we have 3-minute limits. but
No, I'm
we'll
sorry.
Let you go, sorry.
Sorry about that.
We have somebody else on the computer.
Hello,
Jennifer,
hi, it's Jennifer Jonathan here, 3104 Parkview Drive. And I just wanted to report in this public discussion that I made a FOIA request to the Michigan State Department of Treasury for all documents that are related to the disciplinary action that was presented concerning Mr. Wheaton's work as an assessor. And I have received a reply from the state of Michigan. And I just wanted to inform you as board members and also the public that I will be sharing that with you. But I didn't want to share it before this meeting because I didn't have a chance to really read through it carefully. But it is provides a much better picture of what occurred and some of the details in this, including Mr. Wheaton's response. And then, it will be up to people's judgment to read it and see how they feel about, what occurred. It's a little bit complicated because you have to figure out how the assessor, system works, and, there's a few twists and turns. So, but I just want to let you know, as a courtesy, I'm going to give that to all the board members and post it so that everybody can read it and draw their own conclusions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, I have one other question, and that is relevant to what our gentleman before me said is, I'd like to see a public forum prepared by the board as a service to us residents, maybe together with the planning, the road commission, so that we can get a better understanding about who does what, who has what jurisdiction over our roads in our township, and just sort of, what are the typical challenges that are faced in trying to make repairs. What are the steps that are taken to prioritize work, but just a general information session. And instead of, it was nice of Al to recommend calling the road commission, trying to gather XYZ info. But it would be nice to have at least road commission and the township together, not in a weekly meeting, but just a special meeting, maybe an hour or even 2 hours, where people can informally get a better understanding of how all these things take place with regard to our roads. And as I've said before, I have particular interest in the Resort Pike Intertown Road intersection because I almost died in an accident there. And I do want to see that issue addressed. But aside from that, just these general issues like our friend just brought up. And lastly, just a little suggestion. I don't know if the road commission is reluctant to put up signs because of invites liability, and that's the culture of the commission to be very cautious. Seems to me that residents could still approach the private property owners and ask if they could put signs up, not on the government controlled easements, but on the private land. In other words, the bicyclist could make his own sign and say, this is a really bad hill for accidents, whatever great words there are. And it may be that even if the road commission doesn't want to do it, a third alternative would be to go to the private property owner and seek permission from them. Because I think those signs are a good idea. Got to warn people where there's blind spots and stuff. If the government's too afraid to warn people, then people should take it in their own hands. They can. That's the end of my comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Anybody else with public comment? All right, we'll move to the approval of the agenda.
I would like to add to new business number 6, the audit.
It's on there.
Oh, is it?
It is number 6.
Thanks.
It's already on there.
Anything else?
No.
Motion,
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
I support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those approved or negative.
Nobody's here.
Okay, motion for approval of the agendas. Good. Correspondence,
I have none.
none. Minutes of the previous meeting. Any edits or
I just had one correction, I gave it to Rufus.
Okay.
So I make a motion to accept the minutes of June 10th with the one correction.
I support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right,
I know you're
we're
used-
good. All right, unfinished business. Building construction discussion, it's like
Yeah, I thought Matt was gonna be here, but
that will be next meeting, compost site update.
it was the gate and camera were both installed on Wednesday. On Friday, it was open Friday, Saturday and Sunday. It was opened at 8 o'clock and closed at 5 o'clock. And we've had, the camera works, we've had one person that didn't do what they were supposed to do, so hopefully not everybody else follows suit. But there were a few people that dropped off items, so.
RTH landscaping.
I know Al had talked to them and they're coming in August.
Yeah, I talked to Dave Hoffman, he stopped in over there,
Okay.
something different, I mentioned taking him, that he had gotten a proposal and, he said it'll be August before he leaves.
Okay, thank you. Peggy's gardening.
I guess. It's kind of late now to plant flowers. Unless we plant perennials, so they come back every year.
I wonder if we could get any volunteers to do weeding.
You're talking about this park, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if the weeding were, like I said. Daylilies are kind of encompassed by weeds now. Cause they would always come and take care of all that whenever it needed to be done. And they did the watering. There are still flowers around. Did you get any other quotes?
I haven't had a chance. I've been so busy doing everything else.
Well, we'll table that for next time, I guess. Or try to come up with some solution.
At our meeting in July, maybe we can. We used to have master gardeners that helped us out too, and we don't have that anymore.
Yeah,
Well, what about, I mean, the people on the board? You know, when we do the collection here, everybody from that's on the environmental committee volunteers, and yes, you get paid per diem. But maybe the people from the Parks Committee go plant flowers and pull weeds for a couple, 3 hours.
But we could pull weeds. I'm sure some of them are gonna say. I mean, we just took care of getting the plaque paid for. So they're probably gonna. I don't know how much donating they wanna do, but it can be asked.
Well, but I mean, I guess we'd be willing to pay them a per diem to go do it if you're on the Parks Committee.
That won't be necessary. So, but. Like I said, we're running out of. We'll figure something out. Just like we did with the plaque, or
okay. How many go?
It's still in progress.
All right, so land division payment to the assessor. So after reviewing some job descriptions, we're still working on a job description. We've gathered some samples, but most of them say that the splits are included. So I would make a recommendation to not have to pay extra for the splits.
I would support that.
All right, so I'll make a formal motion then to deny a land division payment to the assessor, because that should be a part of the job duties.
Because we had information from the Michigan State Tax Commission and from the MTA that both state that in there that it is part of the assessor's duties. I'll support that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion passed. Brush cleanup, resort hall and pioneer trails. Anybody know?
No, I don't know.
I don't have anything new from since last
Okay.
meeting.
All right, new business, so the conditional rezoning clarification for Blackbird Road. So the zoning administrator reviewed that. And there's a memo in our packets about it. Anything you want to discuss?
Nope, it's just mainly to reaffirm that the way that we voted to have it down on paper as a motion. Because we didn't do an actual motion.
That was recommended.
Yes,
Okay.
by the lawyer also.
Okay.
By our lawyer. So I would make a motion to approve / disagree with the planning commission's recommendation to clarify the May 13th, 2025 decision of the Resort Township Board of Trustees. I, Suzanne W., move to adopt the ordinance number 02 of 2025, which will amend the Resort Township zoning map to conditionally change the zoning designation of parcel 131802300025 from a R1A to a R2B because the applicable standards of the Resort Township zoning ordinance has been met. In accordance with section 2311 of the Township zoning ordinance, staff is directed to work with the applicants to draft and record the required statement of conditions with Emmett County Register of Deeds.
I support the motion. All those in favor, say aye.
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 You want to do a roll call?
Yeah, let's do the roll call.
Roll call.
Okay.
W,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
and Walsheimer, yes. We can cover their absent.
Right. Fire truck financing resolution.
You want to explain it or?
So basically, to do the financing of the truck, we have to do a resolution, based on the attorney's opinion. And so this was the resolution that was provided to both Bear Creek and Resort Township, Bear Creek approved theirs last week at their meeting. So we're hoping you approve it this week. We're hoping to do a closing on the 15th of this month on this. There's some more legal papers that are in with the attorney right now for review too, so.
So a little extra on that at our fire board meeting, it was discussed because previously we were gonna go with a different company that would do the financing of it, but going with Fifth Third cut the interest payments down by how much?
It's almost, it was over $350,000 that we saved in doing this. And they had to that, we found out that there is a stipulation in the law that a township cannot do a loan more than 6 years without voter approval, and there's some other stuff that goes along with that. So this one, we were able to cut it down to a 5-year note and save well over $350,000.
So. I'll make the motion to approve the resolution to approve the purchase and financing of the fire truck interest.
I'll support.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye. Oh,
No, you can't do it. The
Roll call?
resolution.
Roll call.
says A's and nays, okay.
Yeah.
Read the roll.
W,
Yes,
Smith,
Yes.
and Walsheimer, yes.
they
Thank
have
you.
A's and nays in there, buddy.
You're right.
All right. Okay, that motion passed. And we are on to the gutters for Resort Township Hall. So we had 2 bids.
Yep, from Michigan Gutters, and the other one was from Rainbow Seamless Systems. Michigan Gutters came in at about $1,200 less than rainbow system, and they're all pretty much identical. So what it's doing the gutters in front of the fire truck thing, fire trucks along the side, the back. Because when we decided to do the back, because it was going, all the water was coming on top of the air conditioners. And then we have a waterfall out here when it decides to rain. So we should get it done before we do the landscaping.
Okay, so Michigan gutters was 84.99.50.
And the rainbow was 10,349.
So I move we go with Michigan gutters.
I support. All those in favor of going with Michigan gutters at 84.99.50, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Assessor duties. So we have looked at, like I said earlier, two different versions of assessor duties, and they were through the MTA, which is the Michigan Township Association, and where did it? Oh,
The
right,
state tax,
the State Tax Commission.
so it's just a work in progress.
Right, so we're just working on that we brought it up, somebody brought it up at the last meeting, we're talking about it, we're reviewing the job descriptions. And so hopefully we can combine a couple of these together to make a
formal one.
formal, and then we'll bring it to the board and hopefully get that approved. To be in line with other townships. All right, capital outlay for budget.
And actually what it is for the capital project fund, we didn't have anything in there in the budget. And so with the landscaping coming in at about 75,000, the irrigation at 5,000, drip edge, I did about 10. We owe the architect 3,800, and we still have an open balance with Ironwood for 74,000. So it comes to a total of 167,000. So what we'll do is move that money from the general fund and then put it in so that into the 401, which is the capital project fund. So we don't get in trouble for not having it budgeted. As we kind of thought it would be done.
We have to make a formal motion to move that.
Yeah, just so that I can put it in the budget.
I make a motion to move the following capital as listed on the sheet. I said,
One
Do I have to
67,
read it all?
167 into the
into
project
the,
fund.
okay, into the capital fund, 167,000.
Support.
And we may not use it all, but it's majority of it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Excuse me, if I can, hopefully I can ask a question at this point. Can the public ask questions of these items?
Sometimes, yes, go ahead.
Okay. What was the last item, the 74,000?
For the Ironwood, the construction, the still balance due, that is,
Oh, the overall construction, okay.
it's the money that they withheld until their people came in, the contractors underneath them came in and finished up things.
Okay, thank you.
All right, audit.
Okay, our yearly audit, this isn't the big one, but it is. It has to be done by September 30th, so she's gonna come in the middle of August, and right now the estimated cost will not be more than $7,000. And it is in the budget, but I just wanted to get approval on it. So I can have that on.
I move that we approve the audit for 7,000 hours.
I support. All those in favor of approving the $7,000 for the audit, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. 2025 millage.
That's you.
Well, every year we have to fill out the form to give to the county for the millages, for the taxes.
But we just don't have, I mean, you don't have all the information yet, right?
Right.
You just mainly wanted it, so you don't
So
forget. and get in
next month,
trouble.
we'll have to sign this and
Fill
give
out
it,
the form.
give it to the county. It's for the winter tax.
So we'll go into unfinished.
Yep.
Okay, so we will move that over. All right, resort hike, park feed, recreation and playground report.
I know nothing about that.
I know
You?
nothing about
Mike
that.
had to leave, so it's up to me.
You-
Yeah, the playground equipment is a hazard.
It's gone.
It's no
Yeah,
fun.
I know, because at our meeting, we decided rather than being sued from something happening, back when the accident took place years ago, there was talk about insurance purposes of getting a new one. Or at one point in time, my understanding was the people that had the accident said that they would replace it, and it wasn't done. But also with the work that's gonna be taking place down there, it needed to come down anyways. Because
what
it's gonna be in the way.
Have you, I mean, we haven't seen anything on,
Right, they're
The park.
finalizing all that stuff. And then when it is all finalized, you will see it, and then we'll go out for bids. Hopefully, we can maybe get grants too, it depends on, we still, as a township, do we still have that person that writes grants
no,
that we used to hear about? Don't have them anymore.
no.
Okay. That was nice because all the i's were dotted and the t's were crossed. I haven't done grants since the seventies. So I'm sure they have been substantially changed from what I was used to. But, hopefully we can see about maybe some grants and stuff too, because I know with the handicap end of it, there might be some that are available that we're doing, but yeah.
So is Beckett and Rader working on that? I mean, that's who we authorized to do that.
Yeah. There were some changes that had to take place. We had to set with the Eagle thing, it was going back and forth a lot. And hopefully we will get it done so that it can come to you and then we can get bids and stuff for it. So, and back to the flowers again, I'll take care of it and find somebody that we can, with my crutch, I, really can't being down to pull weeds and stuff, but as a committee, we'll figure out, at least get the weeding. And the daylilies look decent, so whether they'll be blooming later on in the summer, I'm not sure, but I don't know if anybody would volunteer to contribute flowers for us to plant, or anybody would be willing to purchase some for us, I don't know. But we'll take care of the weeding somehow. If I can get everybody together.
Well, I think, I mean, at the township, we could purchase flowers to be planted.
Well, yeah, it was all in the budget. And I know, being familiar with the city budgets, with the money that sometimes comes in, goes to the general fund as opposed to being put on the individual budgets for the various areas, but it was in the budget to get that taken care of.
Right, but
So, let me see, I'll get in touch with the rest of the committee and find out.
well, the township could
What we
purchase
can do.
flowers to plant it. Plant perennials, so they come back every year.
Right,
Besides the daylilies, I mean, there's other things, black-eyed Susie's on
right.
regular.
Well, there's
basis.
bugleweed, that's what I do with, the cemetery, is bugleweed and that, the thing, like I said. It was nice having them because they would not only weed, but they would do the watering if we didn't have rain for a certain amount of time. So that part of it was always
I
nice.
can't believe they will have to water when we pay so much for watering.
It depends on where the sprinklers are as opposed to where the flowers are planted. So-
Where the board, we would be willing to donate, I mean, to purchase flowers to be put in there.
Okay, well, I'll get in touch
Okay,
with the, with the stuff that went on with Bob. at our last meeting, I made sure that everybody had emails and phone numbers of
Right.
everybody, because lessons learned.
Yeah.
That was one thing we didn't have of everybody, so we weren't being able to, stay in communication as to what was going on when he ended up having his medical issue.
Okay, well, let us know.
Jennifer said that cornflowers are hardy perennials.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a question. Just regarding the item, the resort bike, park beach reclamation playground report. Is there a plan for that can be seen by the public? I've heard talk about it.
We haven't even seen it as a board. That's why I was trying to we haven't seen anything on it.
We were going back and forth because we made changes on it, and then it had to be approved from people with the state, and so,
But it
yeah.
still should come to the board. I mean, just a preliminary look at it before, but that's just my.
Well, we haven't gone anywhere with it, other than the fact that we were still getting all
Oh.
drawings updated and everything. So I'll bring it up at our meeting in July.
Okay, great, thank you.
You know as much as we do.
All right, committee reports. You're up, Mr. White.
I'm with you, thank you.
He's always number one.
Number one. Well, with 60,000 of our closest friends visiting us this summer, our parks are humming. We're overflowing at Camp Pitasiga. And, we're still cleaning up brush. We have reports from our administrator yesterday that the site over by the road commission will probably be all ground up by October.
Wow.
And they started it in. And then we go to Click Road and do it all over again for the site that's over there, and then back to the transfer station on Pleasant View, which is now open to the end of the month for people to take brush. We extended it longer. We had two reports last night. First was from the SBA, who is over at Little Traverse Township, taking applications from people who have storm damage to give all low interest loans, and she reported that 28 Emmett County residents so far. And this is for personal, I've talked to them. Second, we had a report from our Public Works on recycling, so I'll give you some numbers. First, I'd like to point out that, I don't know if everyone knows, there's no county general fund money or any county money of any kind that goes into our recycling program. It's all self-sufficient, has been from the first time. We recycled in 2024, 5,318 tons of recycles, paper, boxes, containers. On the curbside, Resort Township recycled 31,227 tons. We had 158,918 pickups. The curbside recycling was down, but the drop site recycling was up. More than likely because of the ice storm. And a lot of times, according to Gina, in the winter, people don't put the bins out at the curb. They just take it when they go to a grocery store or such. Other thing that I would like to comment, everybody knows about unpaid bills and people that are uncollectibles. Our uncollectibles were write-offs for 2024 and $2,557,000 revenue with $912.44. So that's remarkable, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'll leave this report for you. It has some stories on our recycling, new equipment, the fire that we had at the recycling center from a lithium battery. And also our recycler of the year, which is, let me get to it. The New Beginnings Resale Shop in Harbor Springs.
Really?
They were the recycling, they recycle, well, first of all, they are recycling because it's a resale shop and that's considered recycling. And many of the items that they don't sell, they bring to because we take clothing, we take mattresses, we take, so they were named the recycling. I think one year even Manna done the recycling of the year.
We were.
And we also bought a new curbside pickup truck and just updating our fleet, and I'll leave this for the board.
We got this yesterday. It goes on the website this afternoon. Thank you. Any questions?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. So planning commission, Mr. Howard is not here. Does anybody else have any?
Well, he sent a couple, notes.
Oh, yeah.
The planning commission reviewed case PC 5-2025, public hearing to consider a rezoning request from one family residential to general residential for a parcel on 1603 Epler Road, submitted by Philip and Ann Duran. After hearing and discussion, rezoning was approved by the PC. Case PC 1-2025, review landscaping plan submitted by Gypsy Spirits for a social event facility at 5251 Charlevoix Road. Due to lack of detail and no representation, plan was sent back with a request for more detail. And then ZBA was brief meeting to review and approve minutes from prior month. No future meetings scheduled at this time and will be called as needed.
Thank you. Okay, zoning board of appeals, anything?
I just did that.
Well,
That
sorry,
that was, yeah,
that's together. Sorry,
It's okay.
recreation,
no,
or that's Petoskey Recreation.
Yep.
Park and Rec.
we got it.
I heard that already.
We got it in the beginning.
Yeah,
You must not know the way that,
Yeah.
another question that I have, which has absolutely, well, it could have something to do with Park and Rec. Was one of the porta potties left at the playground?
yes,
Oh, good, thank you.
we had to beg for those 3 porta potties last week.
Why, at our meeting, I said, call Adam, he's real good about.
They didn't have, I mean, they had to scrounge around, go pick up to put them down for us, and then they picked them up again on Saturday.
Yeah,
No,
'cause I was
except for
down
the
there
one.
checking to see how they were. And you know, there's a new sanitation company in town. Is that something that you guys ever consider looking into? Since GFL became a monopoly, but now that there's a new one,
Isn't it a weird name?
no, it's no,
I mean, it's like,
it's JMT Sanitation.
oh, no, that, okay, there
And
was
it's
another
people
one.
who used to work for Little Travers.
What is
So
it?
is.
JMT?
Yeah, and they're cheaper than what GFL is. But, I'm not into monopolies, so. You know, that way, might be something to look into, cause I know with the containers and the bags are $1 cheaper. than
Oh,
what
really?
GFL is. And and the containers are $30. I don't know what GFL's is, cause we don't, you know, I do a lot of recycling. I even take my recycling over to Charlevoix that Petoskey won't take.
Hmm.
But, so we don't have anything but a bag, but I know those are $1, the containers are 30. Just something to keep in mind.
Thank you. Environmental.
We didn't have a meeting, but we installed my husband, I, and Scott
Thank you.
Noble installed stuff, so.
Everything was right. PCRC,
Road commission, no.
fire,
Did notice your new road's done,
Mm-hmm.
and, so it's the old 31 that's also done too, so. Fire, we had 44 calls this last month. We did do, some search and rescue training. We have a place, we're actually gonna burn it on Sunday. It's the old Daniels Farm. So we were over there doing some training with, them on basically prep it for burn, but we also been doing some roof ventilation with it and some sidewall, garage door ventilation. We did do a extrication training with Emmett County EMS. We had 2 vehicles that we had one just a simple extrication, and we did another advanced one with them so they can kind of see how we do things and why we do what we do. We had 14 smoke detectors installed, 3 CO alarms, and 1 bed shaker.
Bed shaker.
Mhm. Thank you. Library,
No, we don't have anybody doing that.
Walden Lake watershed.
I think he just meant the one time.
So they just met the one time, Denny mentioned it at his meeting last week, they basically, it was kind of like organization is meeting everybody, but their biggest concern was obviously the sewer system around the lake, the drain fields and so on and so forth, so that's what they're strongly looking at.
Thank you.
Yep.
Member reports.
Just busy. Taxes hit.
Excellent. All right. Rufus,
I have nothing.
I do not. either. All right, consent motion for per diems, bills, fire, or payroll, fire department. Everybody have a chance to review? Yep.
You guys have to meet. I don't, because I see them, so.
So I will make a motion to approve the per diems, general bills, payroll, fire department bills.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, those are approved. Open to the public. Yes.
It was just a question on the Walloon, although obviously Bob isn't here, but the Walloon Lake Watershed Collaborative, can anyone comment what that is generally?
It's different townships getting together, to monitor, help me with this, I mean, for like, the lake.
So it's basically, this has been going on for about 8 years, 5, 6 years, 8 years, somewhere in there. That they're trying to get, so all the bordering townships that border Lake, Walden Lake. Are kind of on the same page as far as zoning goes and setbacks and requirements. And so that they finally got this group together. They have no authority to levy money or anything like that, but it's ideas to get everybody on the same page, which most of them are kind of on the same page, but there's some tweaks from what I understand. And their biggest issue is, as we all know, that if something happens to Walden Lake, you know, we're no longer the beautiful area we have. So the sewer issue is probably the number one issue that we have right now, because if you were here, you know, 50 years ago, a lot of those houses that are on the lake weren't here. And the ones that were here were just small little cottages, and now they're, you know, 5, 8 bedrooms with 8 bathrooms. So, and again, it's the same drain field that they had back then, you know, so that's a lot of the concern, is a lot of that waste is going into the waters. They are working on, you know, there are several places around the lake, at least I know in Resort Township, that they do have drain fields across the street from their houses, and they've done multiple, units go to one drain field for like Tamarack Trail or Tamarack Point or Hoffman Point. That they have their own, drain field across the way where they pump everything out to. That's kind of what I know about it. I mean, that's kind of the, you know,
Okay.
meat and potatoes of it.
Is that some of the reason there's been all the swimmers that's reported, or is that?
That's unrelated.
Unrelated,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
there's a comment. Let's make sure that we're keeping it to 3 minutes too, just a reminder.
Jennifer said, thank you for installing the gate.
You are welcome.
Anything else from anyone? All right. We are adjourned at 6:28 PM.
Well done.